What's up, guys? The May Patreon rewards are now available. Cyclonic Rift, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and Avacyn Angel of Hope are all available through the end of the month. If you'd like to support our channel and pick up these sweet proxies, you can do so at patreon.com/itresolves or by clicking the link in the description below. What's going on, guys? Welcome to part 2 with this Abzan, kind of mid-range graveyard list. Kind of focused around Fiend Artisan. However, we haven't really been utilizing the Fiend Artisan. I kind of realized as I was going through the first video, a lot of this has not been so much just Fiend Artisan as much as just good value. I'm loving it, though. I will straight up say this is a sweet, sweet deck. This hand, however, is a little bit sketchy to keep. I think we can, because we have this, into this, but it's going to be tough. So I'm going to try this. Let's see how it does. I'm not expecting this to be a winning hand, but I do kind of want to test things out, and this is one way to do it. So happy to try. As I mentioned in the first video, guys, we do have some really exciting stuff coming out soon. We're really stoked to have... Oh, good draw. Oh, yes. We're really excited to have a land cycle that we created all our own that will be for sale very soon. Please check in with like social media and stuff. We might create an ad for it as well, so that way you guys can see those. But I'm so excited. Those were very, very fun to make, and I think they turned out extraordinarily well. So I'm feeling great about them. I hope you guys enjoy them for sure. All right, here we kind of have to kill the Tymaret. It can be with anything, so that doesn't matter. We kind of have to get rid of that because that card is backbreaking for us. We're going to take a hit here, but we will have Polukranos to follow this stuff up, so feeling okay. Not great, though. This is... Mono black aggro is a rough one, or devotion, or however you want to put it. Excuse me. Well, they did not just straight, do that, so that's not bad. It's actually fine. It's not great, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Yep. Calls the dead, huh? Gonna go ahead and do this. The question becomes, do we want to put out the Polukranos, or do we just want to Tymaret Calls the Dead? I'm kind of thinking it's Polukranos, because it just gives them something that they're gonna have to continuously think about. And then we'll pass here. This deck is very sweet, though. This is actually not one that we've played, the mono black deck. Maybe we will sometime soon. It's a very aggressive deck, and it's solid. Very, very solid. They probably have a kill spell for this, and that's fine, but this eating a kill spell is a lot better than really anything else eating a kill spell. We do need to draw some lands here. And worth noting, Elspeth Conquers Death, not going to be great here. I'm expecting that there will be like a Midnight Reaper or something like that at some point in this game, so I would like to hold on to it if I can. It also just brings something back for us, so I think it's worth it there, but it is going to be a little bit of a grind here. Worth noting, I'm not blocking these because they do gain Death Touch, so I'm going to make them, if they've got a card to kill Polukranos, they're going to have to spend it. And they are down to 3, so... I'm just trying to run them out of resources as best I can. And it looks like they do have something to kill it. Otherwise, they would have... Huh. That's a great target for Elspeth Conquers Death here. Now, worth noting, we can just fight stuff. We'll get a black, I think. So we can just fight this. Or we can kind of fight one of these guys. It's 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life. I think we're going to do this. I'm going to attack with the Fiend Artisan because it's not going to be blocking, but I will probably block with this. Oh, worth noting, the damage is prevented here. So we could have blocked. That was a bit of a mistake, but that's okay. We'll block here, and it doesn't matter. If they want to attack in, that's fine. Gotta love Polukranos, though, man. It's so good. And the great thing is, you know, if it dies, which, you know, it probably will, we'll be able to get it back there. So don't feel too bad about it. That's kind of fine. I don't care about that. Okay. I'm going to attack with Polukranos, and then I am going to fight something. So if they want to block, they can block. But I'm going to 100% fight something on their side. The other option is just kind of to play this out, which I don't think is a bad call, to be honest. I kind of just want to get some value here. We can just sacrifice Polukranos, but that's not really great, is it? So we can do this, sacrifice a creature. Oh, we could get another. It's a bit of a long-term investment, but I'm going to do it. Let's get... Oops. A little too much. Let's get a questing beast. I don't want to get the other Polukranos because it's just gonna die when I have to bring this Polukranos back. So this way, when Elspeth Conquers Death does go off, we just get this back. Is the takeaway. So cashing it in there, I think, is the right call. I just hope they don't have like a Tymaret to exile it. That would be real not good. Real not good. Just one, huh? I'm actually going to block. This is enticing them to pump this up, which just means they don't have all the mana they need, which was the whole idea. So... Alright, let's get Polukranos. Put a 1/1 counter on it. Ooh. Vraska is quite good. Let's do this. Let's do this. And attack for 2. Alright. I mean, they've got 4 cards in hand. We've got 1. So chances are they're going to have a way to do something. Potentially just straight up kill Polukranos, but... Or Vraska. But we'll see. 6 land is very good for us because it does mean we can get some stuff back later on. We're going to attack and see what happens. I mean, the opponent's got to have some stuff here, I feel like. Be very unlikely for them to just have nothing, especially in a list like this where... Yeah, okay. That's... Makes a lot of sense. Great thing about Polukranos... He's very hard to kill. Here, we're not actually going to sacrifice anything. But we are going to plus this up just so we can start, you know, killing anything that they play. Not to mention Polukranos fighting is pretty good. Kind of holding on to this. I don't really know if that's a good idea. Looks like we're going to discard it here. But that's kind of fine. We don't have anything to truly hit with this, so... We're seeing this not have a ton of value in this matchup, but it's been heavy focused on Polukranos, so that kind of makes sense. Worth noting here, though, I mean, we are going to take some damage. I have to assume they have a kill spell.
Ugh, what a whiner.
Huh. That's a good draw. Maybe we should have played that out first. Whoops. We definitely should have, but that's okay. Let's play you, and let's do this. We do have to be somewhat conscious of Davriel. My assumption is they have another Murderous Rider. Calling it. And that's why we should have played this first. We would have drawn a card off of that. So that was a mistake. But we do get rid of Davriel. We do this. Just gonna do that. Alright. Well, good news is they've got 2 Murderous Riders and an Unknown. We've got 2 Planeswalkers on the field and a Fiend Artisan with a Tymaret Calls the Dead in hand, and just kind of endless ways to make stuff. So, you know, I'm feeling okay. Not like 100% great, but that's not bad. We can just mutate this out, right? Why not? Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, cool. That felt really good. Okay, so surprisingly, against a mono black list with Tymaret on turn 2, we were able to win. Now, granted, we have a lot of ways to kill stuff like that, so that feels good, but that was nice. That was really nice. Okay, start game 2. Let's try it. Also, guys, 1 week left for the Ikoria giveaway. Make sure you enter if you're not already. Very, very excited about that. Yeah, we keep this. This is going to help us get lands, so we'll fetch out a swamp first. That lets us play all 3 of these. This is obviously going to, if it sticks around, looks like we're against Obosh. Okay. Mire Triton actually potentially going to be really good here, so I'm probably going to hold on to this for a little bit and throw this out first for sure. And if this dies, it just makes Fiend Artisan better. Plus, it gives us a... Man, the recursion. It also gives us a target for Necropanther later on if we'd like to, so... Oh, man. All the recursion. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Yep. Another Skull Prophet, huh? We'll pass. Fetch Swamp at the end of their turn. So as not to give them information. Sorry, my headphone just keeps hitting this mic, too. Yeah, that's fine. Excuse me. Yep. Alright. This is kind of annoying, so I'm just going to do it now. Can't auto pass, you know. And now. There it is. The only problem with Skull Prophet is it dies to a lot. But, I mean, somewhat to be expected. Let's just go ahead and play this out. I will probably trade these off if they just attack in without doing anything about the Skull Prophet. Only because we've got so many 2-drops. It's like, yeah, that's fine. We also did draw our land for the next turn, so I'm not feeling too bad about that. The Necropanther would be great to be able to get out, because it does effectively block almost everything that they do. But once Obosh comes out, we're going to be hurting for it, so we're going to need to build out the board here. Unfortunately, not the land we needed to do this, so let's just throw out another Prophet. Polukranos does give us a fight effect later on as well, so things to keep in mind, and we'll need it. Next turn is Obosh. We are 100% blocking that. I don't know why they did that. It was going to trade off anyway. That seems kind of silly. Let's play out Polukranos. So at least kind of holds back the ground stuff. So this would deals double that damage. So these would deal extra, but this is really going to be the problem. So now this adds a fight effect. So this just gives us a way to kill it. And then next turn we can kind of double up on some stuff and hopefully be able to block a good bit. We've also got 2 creatures in the graveyard, so this is now at 3. They're just... Oh, they are out of mana. Well, that's not bad for us. Cool. Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's so good. Oh, thank you, thank you. We get to just kill this without having to fight anything.
You won't see the end coming until it's too late. Don't be surprised if we meet again.
That felt good. Granted, what it needs 3 cards in the graveyard, so 1 more card down there and they can escape this again. But this does really, really help us. Not gonna attack, obviously. If I get a land and play Obosh, we still have an okay shot here. Interesting. Let's get rid of you if we can. Ooh, do they have another shock? They do. All right, fair enough. You got me. We're actually, like, assuming they did not have the burn spells in hand, I was feeling okay. Not great, but okay, because next turn we could have just kind of flooded the board with some stuff. But regardless, well played opponent. They had the burn spells. You played the burn spells, so I'm with it. So we're 1-1, I believe. So we've got 1 more game left. Let's see how it goes. Gotta be honest, though, I'm kind of selling... I'm selling myself on this deck, is what I will say. I like this one a lot. I'll keep it. Not sold on it, but we'll keep it. Why? That's funny. Let's do that. Flash deck, I'm assuming. Just gonna be probably kind of annoying. The one thing we don't have, Cavalier kind of helps us and Polukranos to fight, but like Sultai Flash. We don't have a ton of flying things to deal with flying. Oh, I love this art. That's lovely. Mire Triton out. I mean, they're gonna draw just a ton of cards off of this, unfortunately. But you know, what are you gonna do? Not a great keep on my end, so that could have been a better thing on my side, but that's okay. Okay. Let's play Temple Garden here. Play a second Mire Triton, see what they do. They may just counter. Just to keep stuff off the field. Okay. Cool. Sure. That's fine. Interesting. So depending on what they do, Vraska, I have to assume is going to get countered, right? I feel like there's no way it doesn't. I mean, they've drawn so many cards. Like, it would be very near impossible for them to not have a counter. That being said, we got to try it. There it is. Oh. Not what I thought. Okay, there we go. Negate, though. That's interesting. Not going to attack, just so we can block these guys. Next turn, we do have Cavalier with a second Cavalier backup, so like maybe we can get there with this, but chances are probably not. The only good thing is these Mire Tritons really, really clog up the board. Which feels good. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try it. I mean, assumption is they have a counter. Yep. That's a heck of a counter. And no blocks. The problem with this deck is that without being able to block this, they just kind of get to run the whole game because they've got a million ways to draw cards. 2 cards. Good. Perfect. Yep. Only good news, they don't have another Voracious Great Shark up. But doesn't mean too much here. Can get a Fiend Artisan back, but that's it. Let's go ahead and crack this. We'll get a Plains here. Just so we do have the double, in case we draw an Elspeth Conquers Death, we can hit the Great Shark. Assumption is, again, they've got a counter. They did not. It's a good draw, too. Might as well. It's not going to hurt anything to do this now. We'll get Black Source. Alright, no attacks. I mean, they probably have something to bounce this or do something like that, but... At the very least, it does block this, so they have to answer it. Yep. Liliana's not bad. Gotta think what's not gonna get countered, or what has the least likelihood to get countered. Let's take this. Don't know if that's 100% correct, but we're gonna try it. Liliana would be great, but they've got so many things to sacrifice, it just kind of doesn't matter. The only positive about this, it does mitigate this damage, so they're not drawing a card this turn. Gotta try it. If they have the negate, they've got it, but we gotta do something. Just to keep them from drawing cards. I mean, they have this now, but that is way less efficient than this. Alright. One threat taken care of at the very least. We'll go over. All right. At least we're doing something. Ugh, this is a tough one, though. This is a very tough game. They have drawn so many cards, it's ridiculous. So we really have to get lucky here. Next turn, we can Polukranos, assuming they don't have a counter. Which will get, you know, pretty powerful. We'll see. Yep. And really, this is our big problem, surprisingly now. Elspeth Conquers Death is quite good also. And they did not have a negate before. I still think we kind of try this. You. 4, 5, we'll say 6. We just have to hope they don't have the counter. They probably do, but I think it's their best bet. Oh, And it was a quench. Sure. I mean, that's fine, though. It's not great, but it's fine. At least we can, you know, Elspeth Conquers Death, something. That's very not good for us, though, I will say. Alright, well. Like, eventually they can just swing in with everything, right? Are they going to kill something here? Oh, they're bouncing. Okay. So what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then if they play a flash creature. So they just win. So they play Brazen Borrower, deal 1, draw. Swing with everything. And it deals exactly 11. Because we literally like have to block these two. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then they just play Brazen Borrower. So in response to this, they play it. Yeah. Well done, opponent. We fought hard in that one, I will say. That was... I mean, we took the threats as they came, and we dealt with the best ones that we could, I think. We had to stop the card draw, so I don't regret doing what I did, but I don't think we could have played that any differently and gotten a better result, at least in my opinion. Regardless, this deck has been fun. To kind of sum up my thoughts on this one, personally, and this is just an opinion thing, but I have a bit of a soft spot for like mid-range decks just in general, because they just offer so much value. It's the Jund feel where you just kind of always have, you know, something to deny your opponent a resource, or something to blow up something that they've done, or playing a bigger creature. Like, there's just so much value to be had. What I love about this is it does capitalize on the Fiend Artisan. We did kind of see it in this game, or in, I believe, the previous game, where we got to kind of bring some stuff out with the Fiend Artisan that really, really helped us against that mono blacklist. But, excuse me, it really wasn't even, I mean, the focus was, my focus was on the Fiend Artisan, but the focus of the deck was more just on graveyard interaction and recursion within a value, heavy value shell. We saw Vraska do some major work. We got to do what mid-range decks do best, which is attack on multiple different axes. So not only do we have the creatures to really deal some damage, we've got the planeswalkers to deal with the opponent's board and kind of take over the game long term. And we even have ramp elements in here with the Skull Prophets to help us kind of get to early Polukranos or early Vraska. If you can get to those spells early, you're just so well set up against the opponents that it's like, okay, well, do your best, you know? And like, ideally you can kind of take it over that way. Do I think it's perfect on best of one ladder? Absolutely not. While it's really, really good, it's not perfect. Obviously we saw it lost there a few times, but I do think if you're into like the mid-range shells, this is a really, really nice option for you. It just has so much recursion, so much value that it just feels good. Even the Panther there, like, every once in a while gets a really, really good hit. Now, that's one of the... I think it's one of the cooler cards in the deck, but it's not necessarily the best card in the deck, obviously. Polukranos, A+, like 100%. That was insane. But regardless, I think that there's a lot to be said for this style of deck, and I really like that these mid-range decks have at least a decent chance against almost anything because they've got the tools to deal with everything. Now, you don't get every tool in a high capacity, so that's kind of the worry that sometimes you don't draw the right stuff. That's going to happen regardless, but this is definitely a risk you take on when you're dealing with a mid-range deck. But I really liked it. I would highly suggest it. I do think this is a decent starting point. That being said, feel free, of course, to change it up, figure out something different. Send me a list. If you've got a cool list that you want to see, by all means, I'm happy to test that out. So I like this one, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to test it out. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section. Would love to talk about it and do that kind of thing. That's just fun. But I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and comment down below. Make sure to stay updated with our social media stuff because, again, we are going to be releasing some stuff for sale very, very soon, which we are super stoked about. And we would really obviously appreciate the support. Enter the Ikoria giveaway. This is the last week to do it. And that's it. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you very, very soon in the next gameplay video.